What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful New Year's Eve. This is my final video of 2018. I wanted to come on here and give you guys my top 10 shows of 2018. Now, these are shows that I loved, okay? Some of them I reviewed, some of them I didn't, but I just wanted to come on here and just kind of give you guys a guide of the shows to look out for in 2019. Alright? So before we get into this video, do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to click the little bell so you can be updated on when I post new videos, and do not forget to follow me on social media. But before we get into the list, let's go ahead and give honorable mention. So I wanted to give honorable mention to Greenleaf. Greenleaf, you know, I was reviewing Greenleaf, but I didn't get a lot of views for it, so I just said fuck it. But I no longer review Greenleaf, but I still watch the show, and Greenleaf, hands down, is one of the best shows on TV, okay? Greenleaf is so good. The second show that I wanted to give honorable mention to is This Is Us. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this season of This Is Us, I was not enthralled in it. It kind of didn't hold so much of my attention, but nonetheless, This Is Us is really a good show. I'm hoping that This Is Us picks up in a better light in 2019. Like I said, this season was not, in my opinion, the best, but the show definitely is a tearjerker and it grabs you. So if you want something that is, if you have never watched This Is Us, I suggest you go back to season 1. Season 1 was so good. Alright, so go back to season 1 and watch it from the beginning, and you will fall in love with a lot of the characters on the show, okay? Okay, the third show that I wanted to give a honorable mention to is a Netflix show called F is for Family. Now, a lot of you may not have heard of this show. It is, it's not on TV, it's not on cable, it's a Netflix show, like I said, and it is animated, okay? So it is set in the 70s with a family, father, mother, son, and 2 little kids, and it is hilarious. It reminds me of, if that 70s show was kind of animated, it reminds me of that kind of, but it is a really funny show. So if you want something a little lighthearted but still has adult comedy, go ahead and watch F is for Family. It is on Netflix. I guarantee that you will laugh your ass off. Alright, so my number 10 pick is a show that I really did not intend to watch, but because I was watching one of my other shows, I ended up seeing this one by default. So the show I am talking about is The Deuce. It is on HBO. And let me go ahead and give you more of a synopsis of the show. And the reason I started watching the show is because I saw Method Man in there, and I love me some Method Man. So let me go ahead and give you the synopsis of the show. It's created by George Peleconis and David Simon, who's also collaborating on HBO's The Wire and Treme, the semi-fictional drama series. The Deuce tells the germination of the sex trade industry in the heart of New York Times Square in the early 1970s, and the porn business begins a shift from organized crime-backed parlors to a legitimate, culturally approved enterprise. A cast of barkeepers, prostitutes, pimps, police, nightlife seekers centers around twins Vincent and Frank Martino. That is played by James Franco, and he's doing a really good job doing dual roles. Let's see. Who navigates the sex business after meeting a well-connected mobster, Rudy Pipillo. This story, among others, merges with that of prostitutes Candy, whose ambitious intelligence lead her to a more prominent role in the industry. And it also stars Maggie Gyllenhaal. She is an ex-porn star turns director. She's now a porn director. So it is a lot of facets to the show. It's a lot of different stories to the show. So if you like stuff like that, The Deuce is a great show to watch. Alright guys, so my number 9 pick for my top 10 shows of 2018 is Love Is. Now, if you watched my last video, we talked about Love Is. We talked about Salim Akil and Mara Brock Akil. Well, Love Is was the show that was, I love the show. From the soundtrack, it was set in the 90s. It told a love story of Salim and Mara. And it gives you that nostalgic vibe, especially with the music. The music actually, it makes the show what it is. Because I grew up in the 90s, so a lot of the songs that played on the show I remember what I was doing around the time these songs came out, and it kind of reminded me of my first love, actually, this show, because it kind of is. It reminds me of the time when you fall in love for the first time and you just love everything about that person. This is what Love Is did. It was so much heart and so much truth and so much soul to it. I love this show, okay? So the show is not coming back. The show is canceled, as we all know. So it is really sad that this situation happened, because a great show will never, we will never get to see the potential that Love Is had. And there's a lot of people that never watched the show, and you never know where this show could have gone. So I'm really sad that it has been canceled. But the first season is still on demand. It is still on OWN. I think it's still on OWN. You can still watch it on OWN. So go ahead and watch the first season. It left a very pivotal cliffhanger, and we won't know what happens. But yeah, so Love Is my number 9 pick. Okay, so my number 8 pick is a show that I did not expect to fall deeply in love with, and that is A Million Little Things. And this is a show on HBO. So A Million Little Things, it has been said that friendship isn't one big thing, it's a million little things. This is certainly true of a group of friends from Boston who bonded under unexpected circumstances. Some have achieved success, others are struggling in their careers and relationships, but all of them feel stuck in life. After one of them dies unexpectedly, it's just a wake-up call others need to finally start living. Along the way, they discover that friends may be the one thing that can save them from themselves. Alright, so when I first started watching this show, I was enthralled by it because it tackled the subject of suicide. Alright, and after watching it, the twists and turns and the secrets and the lies and the this and the that, this show is so good, okay? It's not a slow build up to anything. It is straight to the point. I really like this show. It got renewed for a couple more seasons. I can identify with some of the characters on this show. I completely love this show. I cannot wait for season 2. Alright, so my number 7 pick for shows of 2018 goes to Atlanta. And Atlanta is on FX. Atlanta is what is needed for these times, okay? Atlanta basically is what it is. It's about people in Atlanta. It follows Earn, his cousin Paperboy, and his friends and all that stuff. Atlanta is one of the great shows on TV. Now, if you watch Atlanta, we all can say that the Teddy Perkins episode may have been the best, craziest, scariest, freakiest shit we've ever seen on TV, okay? The Teddy Perkins episode was so strange that people started doing videos about that episode because it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. So if you do not watch Atlanta, I cannot wait for it to come back this season, but if you do not watch Atlanta, go ahead and watch the Teddy Perkins episode. It is a weirdly interesting, it is weird. And Donald Glover is playing Teddy Perkins. When I first saw that, I was unsure if Donald Glover, who this person was, but it was Donald Glover. He did an amazing job. I love this show. I love the authenticity. I live in Georgia. I lived in the heart of Atlanta for some time. I live on the outskirts now, but this, like, how these niggas talk, this is how niggas in Atlanta talk. Like, they talk just like this. So it is not fabricated, it's not exaggerated. This show is such a good show. If you have not watched Atlanta, go ahead and watch the past seasons. Let me know what you think. Alright, so my number 6 pick would have to go to Grownish on Freeform. Alright, so Grownish is basically a different world rebooted. This is the spin-off to Blackish, which follows Zoe, who is played by Yara Shahidi, and she is off to college and she has made some friends. It's her freshman year. Well, now she's a sophomore now, but it's her freshman year and she has made some friends. The show is so refreshing. I was not going to watch this show because I rarely like spin-offs because half of them don't work, but it was surprising that they went in a kind of adult route to Grownish. I really did not expect to see my little Yara be so grown and drinking and shit and popping pills, but it was so good, and I didn't expect to like it, but I love this show. It reminds me of a modern day Different World. I was a fan of A Different World growing up. I used to watch it in real time. That's how old I am. But this is so nice, and I think that a lot of teenagers need to watch this show, because a lot of them, when they go off to college, they have these they just get so engulfed in the process of being in college that a lot of them start doing things they shouldn't do. They start missing the experience. So I think it's a really great show for teenagers, for young adults. I love this show so much, and I was so mad that she picked that boy over that boy. Okay, I was pissed off. I went to Yara's Instagram and I started complaining because I did not want her with him. That's how good this show is. Alright, so if you have not checked out Grownish, go ahead and do so. It is on Freeform. You will love it. Alright, so if we're speaking about Grownish, we gotta speak about Blackish. So Blackish is my number 4 pick. It's on ABC. Blackish is one of the best black shows on TV. I'm not gonna lie. Last season, there was a Bo and Dre were about to get a divorce. Like, they were separated. It was so gloomy. I started crying because you love Bo and Dre together. Dre's an asshole, but you love Bo and Dre together. You love the kids. I love Junior so much. He's so quirky. I love the twins. Diane is my spirit animal. I love her so much. Miles is so cute. He is so dumb, but he is so cute. My boo, my love, my auntie in my head, Jennifer Lewis, is on this show. She is great as a grandmother. Lawrence Fishburne is a grandfather. He is great as well. This show has such a great cast. And then Deon Cole, I've loved Deon Cole since Comic View, okay? And when I knew he was going to be on this show, I knew he was going to bring the funny, because he is hilarious to me, and he does such a great job that he's also on Grownish. So shout out to Deon Cole for having 2 paychecks, okay? But Blackish is one of the best shows on TV. It's not only funny, but they give a very real world commentary on what's going on in black culture, what's going on with the movement of the black people. It is such a good show. And to be honest, I am surprised that ABC has not removed Blackish from its lineup. I really am, because it is so black power. Like, white people are scared of that. But, you know, it is a really good show. So if you have never in your life check out Blackish, go ahead and do so. Please go ahead and do so. The show is so good. Number 4. Number 4 is... This show has meant so much to me, and I'm getting emotional as I talk about it, because this show has literally moved my soul. I am talking about Red Table Talk. Now, I know Red Table Talk is not on TV, it's not on Netflix, it is on Facebook. And I hope that it does not move from Facebook, because I feel like the authenticity of the show will diminish if they move to a network. But Red Table Talk is one of the best shows I have watched in 2018. Alright? Every episode has spoken to me in a way where it sends me to chorus. I'm not even gonna lie. My favorite episode of Red Table Talk would have to be when they were talking about racism, and they were talking about the relationship between black men and they were talking about the relationship between black women and white women. And Jane Elliott, the GOAT, came on this show, and Jane says something so pivotal to my life that I have been wanting to hear from white lips. I started bawling in my house. That is how serious it is. This show talks about everything. It talks about friendships. It talks about relationships. It talks about drug abuse, sexual abuse, whatever. The show talks about it. They get real in depth. They have great guests. The show is amazing. If you do not, everybody got a Facebook. Everybody got a Facebook. If you want me to show you how to get to Red Table Talk, I will show you how to get to Red Table Talk on my phone. I will show it to you. But go ahead and watch Red Table Talk. I swear. I don't swear on shows, but this show has to be one of the most refreshing things that I have seen in 2018. My number 3 pick is one of my favorite shows. You guys know I reviewed this show the entire season, and I got my life. It is Insecure. Okay, so y'all know I love Insecure. I'm a fan of Issa Rae. She is the woman in my head that I am best friends with and I will be best friends with, and she will wear my shirts, and my shirts are going to end up on Insecure because somebody out there knows somebody who knows somebody that works on Insecure that can get Just Be Her on there. But I digress. Okay, Insecure is one of my favorite shows. I know a lot of people talked about this season where it was not as fast paced as it normally is, and I guess because we're taking a slower pace with Issa trying to move out on her own, get her life together and everything like that. I love this season. I especially love the introduction of Nathan. I think that it was a great addition to the show. Kendrick Sampson, his fine ass, he is so fine. Okay, I follow him on social. He is so fine and he is so woke and I love him. But yeah, it was so good to see a refreshing take on Issa. She was not insecure around him. She was basically just free flowing with this man, and then he goes to her and then she turned in crazy, and then what the fuck? You scared me. What?
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Sure. You scared the hell out of me.
Come kiss my head. Good luck. Kiss my head. I get everything.
Right here.
Fuck it.
Right here.
Yeah, fuck it.
I'm keeping this in the review.
Alright.
Yeah, so I forgot what I was saying. Okay, so yeah, so go ahead and check out Insecure. I cannot wait for the new season to start. I really wish that it was longer. That's the only thing about Insecure. I wish that it was longer episodes, and I wish it was the season was longer. It's only 8 episodes. Insecure is so good, and if you have not watched Insecure, go ahead and check it out. Come back and let me know what you think. We are to our 2 final shows of 2018. My number 2 pick. Well, you don't do that for number 2. My number 2 pick would have to be Power. Power, I love Power. Power is, everybody love Power, okay? Power is so good. I love gangster hood shit, and this is one of those shows that you're so excited for. Like, when Power comes on, we watch it like at midnight. On Saturday nights, we watch it Sunday morning at midnight, okay? We get our snacks, we get everything, we go into the man cave and we watch Power. As soon as midnight hits, we turn on that damn TV and we watch Power. That is how good Power is. Power has been so captivating this season, and to think that it's only been from the start of season 1 to this current season, I think it's what season we in? Season 6? So whatever season this is, it's only been 6 months. So it is so captivating. The show is so good. I love all the people that play in this show except Lala. Lala can't really act, and I'm kind of tired of her being on the show, but I hope that she gets killed by Tommy. But you know, maybe he gonna fall in love with her for real. I don't really know. He almost did kill her, but he didn't. So anyways, but Power is a great show. Everybody hates Tariq. We're going to continue to keep that same energy and hit Tariq's ass because he gets on my damn nerves. But Power is one of the greatest shows on TV. I love Power so much, and I'll be so sad once the series ends because I have not seen a show that good. Ghost. I love Ghost, but I hate him with Angela. But I just love everybody. Tommy is my man. I love Tommy. If you've never watched Power, go ahead and check it out on Starz. It comes back this summer. It comes back every summer. This is one thing I hate. You gotta wait a year for it to come back, but it is well worth the wait. My number one show of 2018. Okay? Let me tell you something. I'm gonna describe it and maybe you can guess it. I did not review this show, but I will be reviewing season 2. Alright? This show has changed a lot of people's perspectives. It has brought awareness to a lot of things that people didn't probably know about or didn't even want to take the time to research. This show follows people that matter, follow people of color. This show is amazing, brilliant, and made me cry so many times this first season. And the show I am talking about is Pose. Pose was the #1 show for me in 2018. Now, if you have never watched Pose, honey, you need to watch Pose. Let me go ahead and give you the synopsis of Pose. Set in the 1980s, Pose is a dance musical that explores the juxtaposition of several segments of life and society in New York: the ball culture world, the rise of the luxury Trump-era universe, and the downtown social and literary scene. Blanca forms a house, a self-selected family that provides support to LGBTQ youth and who have been rejected by their birth families. Damon is a dancer who joins Blanca's house. Together they compete in the balls, where the house members challenge each other in various categories and are judged on their outfits, attitudes, or dance skills against Blanca's former house mother, Elektra. Pratel is the godfather to the children who compete in these balls. Angel is a streetwalker who develops feelings for a new client, Stan, who has a loving wife, Patty. James Vanderbeek co-stars as Stan's boss, Matt. Pose is basically a rendition of Paris is Burning. If you don't know what Paris is Burning, baby, look that up. But Pose is a rendition of that. It is set in the 80s. You have Whitney Houston. You have the music of the 80s, the electricity of the 80s. But you also have the AIDS epidemic of the 80s that took out a lot of people because of this disease. The disease nobody knew about. They didn't know how to handle it. They didn't know how to treat it. They didn't know how to stop it. A lot of people died of AIDS in the 80s. And Pose really shows you the transitioning of this disease from the 70s to now. And it also talks about the trans community, the trans girls. A lot of people before watching this didn't really understand, trans men, trans women, but this show has enlightened a lot of people. Let me tell you something, okay? And I will say this from the bottom of my heart. Pose, again, is one of the best shows I have ever watched in 2018, okay? I'm sorry, y'all. And this was not even supposed to be emotional, but let me tell you a little something. Growing up in the Virgin Islands, I didn't really see a lot of this stuff only on TV. But there was one person in my life when I was a little girl. He was my hairdresser. He was a friend of my grandmother's. He was flamboyant. He was fabulous. He was the most fabulous man I've ever saw in my life. Okay? And he died of AIDS. And I remember when he died, I asked my grandmother, may she rest in peace. I asked her, how did he die? And she said he was sick. That's all she told me. I didn't know how he died. I didn't know anything about that. I didn't know anything about AIDS. I didn't know anything about it. But when I watch Pose, I think about him and I think about his life. And I think about all the things he must have saw, all the things he must have did. The show is amazing. I salute Ryan Murphy for bringing this into fruition. I really do. This show is so good. It is on FX. It's an incredible show. I cannot wait for season 2. Apparently, it's going to become an anthology, so season 2 is going to be a different set of people or something like that. I'm not really sure, but you can kind of tell with season 1 they didn't know if they were going to get picked up. They didn't know if they were going to come back because a lot of people weren't watching, okay? But they got picked up, so season 2, I'm so excited to see what season 2 brings. If you have not watched Pose, I suggest that you do. Alright, y'all, so I'm done crying my eyes out, but these are my top 10 picks of TV shows for 2018. Let me know, have you watched any of these shows? Which one is your favorite show? If I have not mentioned your favorite show, let me know down below, and I'll probably take a look at it when the season comes back. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Happy New Year to you guys. I love you guys so much. I am really trying to do more videos in 2019. I'm really trying to get this together. So If you have any video ideas you want me to do, let me know down below. I will go ahead and take a look and see what I could do. But again, thank you guys for a great year. I've loved every bit of it. This whole reviewing TV shows thing is new to me, but I am enjoying it. So I hope you guys have a wonderful New Year's Eve, a wonderful New Year's Day. Be safe out there, and I will see you guys in 2019. Bye.